All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week one, day one of the LCS Academy Summer Split between Cloud9 Academy and FlyQuest Academy. I'm going to be your play-by-play caster today, and with me is Visage. Do you want to introduce yourself, Visage?
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you very much for the intro, Gimmers. And we are already into pick or ban phase. We don't have any music for this because we are using the playback VODs. There is proper in-game sound, so no need to worry about that. But Cloud9 have banned the Akali and the Irelia, and now the Taric, the Jace, and the Aatrox have been banned by FlyQuest.
Yep, very. What's the word? Bands that you would expect to see, really. These are champions that always are very, very strong. But people don't want to play against them. You know, you think you might want to see one of them left open for the blue side. Maybe they'd pick one of these guys. Obviously, all very, very strong laners and tend to win their lanes and have massive impact on the game. But I guess C9 deciding they don't really want to do that.
Yeah, and Cloud9 as well banning away a lot of flexibility from FlyQuest, not wanting to let them have the Irelia or the Akali that can be moved between the top and mid lane, and getting rid of a Taric as well to prevent Sona Taric. The first lock-in will be the Rise. We have seen this in pretty much every Pro Series game over the past few months. Lots of flexibility, followed up by the Silas as well, another staple. But a Yuumi! Talk me through the Yuumi Gimmers. New on this patch, what do you reckon to this pick?
I mean, I haven't seen it being played in competitive at all. If this is pre-hotfix Yumi, then she's pretty weak. But if it's post-hotfix, then she's very, very strong and obviously very hard to get onto. Although the return picks there with, if that's Nautilus in the bot lane, then he's very, very good against the Yumi. Because obviously if he gets onto the AD carry, he can't get away. And then the Yumi has no chance of getting away either.
Yeah, a lot of CC if Nautilus does go down into the bot lane, but we don't know if that will still be played mid. AP Nautilus is still very viable, and the two ADCs that we can guarantee where these guys are going are the Xayah for FlyQuest and the Sivir for the side of Cloud9. And as we move into the second stage of bans, I want to talk so far briefly about Cloud9's composition. And we're seeing the Sivir, which immediately screams late game team fights. And we're seeing the Rise as well, who is a very capable, probably the best split pushing champion in the game at the minute because of the wave clear potential and his ability to take on anybody in the 1v1. So Cloud9 looking to go late, FlyQuest might be looking to try and accelerate the pace of the game a little bit with the Silas and the Xayah. And we're seeing some bans targeted toward the top lane now.
Yeah, I mean, with the picks that they've got here, it looks like as they go on, especially Cloud9, if they get into these team fights, then they've got a lot of AoE with the bouncing of both the Boomerang and the Rise balls. Kennen banned away. I guess they're figuring then the Silas is going to go into the mid lane. I don't think we'd be seeing the Kennen in the mid lane for FlyQuest, but I guess you never know. Also the Gnar as well. I suppose both teams suspecting these are mid lane champs and in the end not going to be in the top lane.
Yeah, and both of the champions that you just talked about there, the Kennen and the Gnar, they do provide a lot of teamfight potential. Those big ultimates able to lock down multiple members. The last two bans were the Jarvan and the Rek'Sai, the two most prominent early game junglers we've seen so far. FlyQuest picking up the third of the roster on the Lee Sin, forcing Cloud9 onto something a bit lower priority, not wanting to let them have that early game dominance in the jungle. So have to see what they're going to pick up for themselves. To try and complement the team composition so far.
The Karthus is open at the moment. Oh, they decide to go for Sejuani. Perhaps Karthus is a little bit too slow, especially with the rest of their comp. Sejuani layers down the CC, at least for the two that they've got on the back line. Although it still feels like perhaps they are a little bit lacking, at least in the early game skirmishes.
Yeah, definitely. There's not an awful lot of damage potential for Cloud9 in this early game, but as we're saying that, they pick up a Riven for themselves. So, a very aggressive champion looking to go toe-to-toe in the top lane with anybody, trying to get these early advantages. And the Sejuani will pair quite nicely with that, actually, be able to get a lot of CC and lock those opponents in place for the Riven to kill. We are awaiting the last top lane pick for FlyQuest. We're assuming that the Silas is going to be mid. So we'll see what matchup the Riven is into. Now, Rumble. What do you make to that, Gimmers? Rumble into Riven.
Well, I mean, it looks like FlyQuest have opted to maybe not even go for a real team comp here, just to pick strong champions. All of these champions do fairly well against their counterparts on the enemy team, although I think they will struggle once they group up. Although that being said, if they get a very good equalizer from the Rumble or a very good, I don't know what Yumi's ultimate is called, but if she gets a good one of those as well, then maybe they can win a team fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, Silas as well can bring out anything.
Yeah, the Yumi ultimate is wide ranging, it repeats, and I believe it also stuns on the third consecutive hit. So a lot of potential to catch members out there, but I do definitely agree with you. Cloud9 looking like they have drafted for that team fight, for that later game style. And it's going to be up to FlyQuest to try and accelerate the pace of the game, stop them getting to that end goal that they want to achieve, and close the game out before those power spikes are able to come online.
Okay, we'll just skip forward a little bit there to avoid most of this waiting. It should be into game shortly now, as long as the client is still playing. Yes, it is.
Always
not sure-
dangerous skipping forwards when we're using
Yeah, I
the
know.
together tube and things like that. You never know whether it's just going to break on you. Hopefully not, as it. No, we are on Summoner's Rift. Excellent.
Perfect.
We are actually here and present.
First try.
First try indeed. So, Lee Sin versus the Sejuani is going to be where a lot of our early attention will be focused on this jungle matchup. The top lane as well will be a point of focus for Riven and the Rumble. The only really early aggressive options that Cloud9 has open to them there on this side of the map. The Sivir doesn't trade very effectively into the Xayah to start with, and Ryze wants a little bit of time to scale up. So, looking towards top side if Cloud9 want to do anything early.
FlyQuest also have the TP there on the Xayah, meaning that she might be able to get a lead on this Sivir as well into the early game if the Nautilus doesn't do too much and they get the poke down with the Yuumi. Could mean that they come into the mid-game team fights with a CS lead and perhaps an item, which could shift it in their favor, as you've said. Their cop's good in the mid-game. After that, it's getting a bit more rough.
Yeah, the Rumble definitely wears off as the game goes on. Doesn't keep increasing in his strength, especially not compared to the likes of Ryze or the Riven, who will. Riven isn't the greatest scaling champion, but she does still get more problematic to deal with as the game goes on. The Nautilus will continue being tanky, able to cause massive amounts of CC in these team fights. For Sivir, of course, everybody knows she will just rip through teams. For Ryze as well. So it's, like we said, it is on FlyQuest to try and force this game early, get some advantages around the map, and with the Lee Sin, they are in a position to do that. A very early game jungler, able to make some very flashy plays.
I'm excited to see what Wardid can do on the Yuumi. I haven't seen it been played in a competitive environment before. I know it's used mostly for poking in the lane. We say that. Strompest gets a trade there onto Golden Glue. Looked like he was going to be unfavorable, but the punch from Silas gives him that health back.
Yeah, Silas, very obnoxious to deal with because of the execute and the heal that he has available in his kit. You do have to be very careful about going for those trades when you are both at low health. It's very deceptive if you're not prepared for it. The amount of health that he can get back and how quickly he can burst you down if you are low as well.
Oh, we're getting the engage here from Cloud9 onto the FlyQuest bot lane. Not going to commit to it fully, but they get a bit of a healthy trade back.
Yeah, not something that Cloud9 really want to be going for there early. They are going to struggle in this bot lane with the melee support compared to the double ranged matchup. Always something that is difficult for teams to deal with. And Yuumi as well, having the very unique feature of the mouse-guided skill shot, the magic missile kind of Q, able to hit people regardless of where they're stood, unless they are directly in the middle of minions. So they will be taking a lot of poke damage, not really wanting to take these massive engages early on Cloud9.
Let's see if Blabber's going to think about going for the dive here in the top lane. They got a big wave coming in and the level advantage, but no, he's going to walk back down to the mid lane. He's got the prio on the rise, so just going to keep on farming for now. Guess Maxi's going to want to try and make something happen. Yeah, once he finishes clearing his jungle, we'll have to see which lane he decides to go for. Golden Glue been at the tower for most of the game so far, so could be the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to try and attack through the bot lane for FlyQuest with that Nautilus and the Sivir pushed so far up, but mid lane is evening out now a little bit, and Maxi has moved on to his Gromp, but could look to see how the mid lane is available for him to be impacted once he's cleared this camp. if they can get a decent push, and this is the little game pause that we went into. We will be skipping through this because it's about 3 minutes, and there's not a great deal for us to talk about at the minute, with only about 4 minutes of gameplay going on. So we're going to attempt to just skip through this to when we rejoin the action.
Ooh, there we go. Maybe, yeah, okay, it's playing. Nice.
Fingers crossed.
And we'll carry on shortly. There we go, back in the game.
Fantastic. Nothing lost at all. Of course, we don't know what the pause was for, but as far as we're concerned, hasn't really made any differences. So,
Looked like Maxi tried to come in for that gank at the bot lane, but Cloud9 didn't want to step up at all. And perhaps a little bit questionably, if Maxi decides to leave so soon, because he would have had a good opportunity if he'd waited a little bit longer, but doesn't want to fall too far behind Blabber in the end.
yeah, both junglers backed, getting their first little sets of items. Maxi going for the...
Ooh, the engage there from Diamond onto Wadid, and that is why you don't want to step up as the cat. Especially when he doesn't jump into his AD carry swiftly afterwards. Perhaps he can't do that if he's in combat, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so Yumi's a very frustrating champion to deal with. I haven't had the most experience fighting her myself, but I know the games I have had. She is very difficult to get hold of, because she's able to stick onto her allied champions and move about between them very quickly. But once you do manage to get hold of her, she will pop. She's typically down in experience, very, very squishy champion. Almost similar to how you'd play the Zoe in the mid lane. Very annoying to get hold of, but once you actually get onto her, able to take her down very easily. So with the Nautilus, Diamond able to find that hook and a kill over to Keith very early on, propelling this Xayah forwards.
Yeah, and now the freeze is there for them in the bot lane, the way of pushing in, I think. Oh, no, never mind. It's pushing straight back over to Keith. He's going to enjoy picking that one up, as Diamond looks like he's going to maybe try and make something happen in the mid lane, or just getting some vision there. Perhaps he smells that Maxi is there.
Yeah, Maxi is nearby. You could be looking for a 3-man gank from Cloud9 into mid lane, but the support and jungler will walk away. Blabber looking towards the top side now. Both top laners do have their ultimates. Dash forward from Jukes, gets the stun.
Yeah, he's going on to Engo here, but Engo's a little bit too far away. He smelt that one before it got to him and managed to walk it out. Jukes perhaps playing his ult a little bit early and making Engo certain that the jungler was nearby.
Yeah, Jukes could maybe have played that a little bit safer, baited Engo in some more, but he did get the flash, so that is a very valuable tool that Engo now doesn't have access to. Rumble doesn't have any boost. He does have a slight speed boost, but no dashes to speak of, so a repeat gank could be on the cards here in a minute.
Lots of vision here for FlyQuest in the bottom side of the map, and Maxi's going to take those Krugs and get out. Can't contest the red buff, sadly. I'm sure he would have liked that one, but he's going to try and get his level 6 so that he can walk in and kick somebody.
Yeah, FlyQuest trying to set up some vision around the bottom side of this map. They know that the Yuumi is weak early on, especially with that kill going over to the Sivir, and they don't want their bot lane to fall any further behind. You can see lots of deep vision here. The ward into the Krugs won't be spotted out, so they will have knowledge of where Blabber is, keeping their bot lane safe and just preventing Cloud9 from snowballing any further than they would like to.
Yeah, I think Maxi has to make quite a hard decision right now because, as we said, Engo doesn't have his flash in the top lane and Jukes does have his flash. So that's a risky one there when he gets all in by the Riven, who has a slight advantage. And the bot lane, again, Keith getting that kill means he wants to be around this bot lane in case Cloud9 get another engage, but he can't be everywhere at once, so he's going to have to choose.
Now, Cloud9 do have a lot of options to force the engages when they want to. Engo playing really safely under tower here, kind of what he's forced to do a little bit. The Riven, with the mobility and with the stun as well, can get onto him and burst him down. And like
he's walked straight into Blabber there, blows the equalizer, but there's a lot of CC between Blabber and Jukes, and no way out for him there.
Just like we were talking about, the early easy engage that Cloud9 has access to. We mentioned at the start of the game how the Sejuani and the Riven were a nice combination up in this top lane, able to layer that frozen status effect and keep the Rumble locked in place, and that is exactly what we saw there. An early kill picked up by the Riven. That will be very nice, and the Hex Drinker has been completed as well.
He didn't even use his ult there or his flash, so he can just go straight back on Engo when they get back into this top lane. So it's rough for him, especially because it's going to bounce back out. Jukes, in fact, is just going to wait in the bush for when it does, see if he can pick up that kill again.
Yeah, Engo wanting to just try and stall this as much as possible. Let the wave crash into the tower and really not push this at all. The further he walks away from his tower here, the more danger he is in, especially with no vision around the top side at all. Look at how dark that is for FlyQuest. There is nothing.
And here it comes. Blabber throws in the ultimate. Jukes backed off a little bit there, perhaps too early. It might mean that Engo gets away. Doesn't have anything to do except... Wow, yep, there he has Jukes' flash. Maybe they can go back for this one now that the tower's dropped aggro. The damage is much less than it was. Oh, wow, okay. So Engo does end up picking a kill and it goes 1 for 1. That was the mistake there, the little bit of lack of communication between the Cloud9 top and jungler.
Yeah, and it's difficult to say who that trade favours more because Engo will lose his life. It was a 1 for 1 trade, but he gets both flashes from Jukes and Blabber. Two big tools that Cloud9 would like to have access to, they had to use in that kill, but at the same time, Engo was losing a lot of CS and experience to the tower there while he was dead. So that trade will favour Cloud9 slightly, and we'll see what they can do with it. It wasn't the Riven that picked up the kill, was on the Sejuani, so able to get a bit tankier, complete that Cinder Hulk already, and just move around the map and repeat these ganks all over.
Definitely a little bit of a misplay in that top lane, but as you said, Engo won't mind, or rather C9 won't mind too much as he lost that wave. Maxi still hasn't made anything happen on this Lee Sin. I'm not sure at what point he's really going to start to play in this game. He's going to have to play for one of these objectives. I guess, well, he got the dragon when that top lane stuff was going on by the looks of it.
Did manage to get
the
dragon for himself. It looks like he is going for the power farming route at the moment. Has the Tiamat for the early clear and was a second ago just a level clear of Blabber, about 10 CS up, and now moving on to the Rift Herald. All members of FlyQuest have been brought up here to secure this objective, and it looks like this might be the window to get something back into the game and get some of these early tower plates from this Rift Herald. This is up, so that will be going down bot lane, you would imagine.
Yeah, this is definitely something that you needed to see coming out of Maxi at this point. I mean, the cooldowns, the ultimate cooldown from Jukes and Blabber were both there. They couldn't really contest that one. Engo and Maxi both had their ults if they wanted to take the fight. And he's got a little bit of a CS lead. I don't think it matters too much because Sejuani's got the kill and the assist. But yeah, that's the Herald. Like you said, probably going to be in the bot lane. Going to pick up those plates. Maxi will make his way down there eventually, and Strumpus will just keep on wave clearing under his tower.
Yeah, and Golden Glue needs to be careful here. He is just below Maxi, and they don't know that he is hovering around. Decides to back away down onto the river. It looks like Cloud9, they're aware that the Rift Herald has been picked up by this bot lane duo, and they're wanting to maybe make something happen here instead. Force them to waste it, force them to drag out that timer, and prevent FlyQuest getting the value that they would otherwise gain from that objective.
Engo getting his chance to abuse the Rumble's abilities a little bit there and get the push, but Jukes doesn't want to let him do that, so he's going to stay pushed up here. He's got his Conqueror stacked up, so he wants to go in. His ultimate's ready as well, but lost a lot of health there, so doesn't want to step up now.
Trading into a big minion wave there, and Riven does have the unique capability from a lot of top laners. She's able to stun the entire minion wave and take quite a few what would otherwise be unfavourable trades in that position, but because of how Engo was in the lane, wasn't able to do that and did take a lot of damage. Rift Herald has now been used in this bot lane. There are no members of Cloud9 here to defend it just yet. The bot lane duo only just arriving, and this will very likely be the first tower for FlyQuest. Not quite, just getting it down.
Oh, yeah, Aerie steps up a little bit too far there, it looked like. But both ultimates are blown, and the Cloud9 bot lane are now outnumbered 4-2. They haven't actually died, but they do lose the tower.
Yeah, very impressive there from the Cloud9 duo, managing to stay alive. FlyQuest moved their members down, got the numbers advantage, and focused down the tower. They knew that they were there for the objective. They didn't want to attempt the dive and risk losing any members themselves. Nautilus is an absolute nightmare to dive under tower because of all the CC he has, so very controlled play from FlyQuest there. Very impressed that they went in for the objective and got exactly what they wanted without pushing for too much more.
They do have a slight CS deficit, though, the bot lane, even with that TP. I guess that's probably because of the kill they gave up. Surprising, perhaps, that they didn't have pressure in that lane. But there's the TP now from Engo. He's walking in behind, but this is a full-blown 5v5. He has to flash away, blown the equalizer already, and now he's all by himself, and he's going to get picked up. Jukes blows ultimate as well, so they don't really want to follow this one any further, and that's 5 people pushing from either side and only 1 going down.
FlyQuest a bit off on the timing there. The play was the right option. They tried to go for something, but they weren't quite in sync with each other. Engo TPing in too far into the backline, and the Cloud9 members were simply able to collapse on him by himself without the support of his team and take him down, which will now transition into a 4v5 fight around this Earthdrake that FlyQuest know they can't contest, simply handing this over to Cloud9 due to a miscommunication in timing there on that TP.
Yeah, they don't really get anything for it. I mean, obviously they return the TPs, but when they give up that dragon, they don't even get CS advantage or get any push onto the towers because Golden Glue was already there in the mid lane to collect that wave. And yeah, I mean, Eri and Wadid in a lane together, it's only really one champion there, just a strong one. So they don't have to worry about FlyQuest spreading their resources too much.
Yeah, the only thing I think FlyQuest actually gained from that play was the ignite onto Golden Glue, and that's not really the biggest bonus that you want from an objective like that, investing your TPs and losing a member and the Drake as well. But it is at least something, a bit of a silver lining for this team, knowing that the Rise doesn't have that extra bit of damage to finish off your members. But we're seeing the teams move around now, and the gold is still relatively even. Cloud9 are 3 kills up, but the gold is about 500-600 in it, so not too much for FlyQuest to deal with. And you are looking at Maxi still to make some of his creative plays. He is the level up on Blabber, and has completed his warrior enchantment now, so now might be the time that they want to try and make something happen.
He's walking up here in the mid lane, ready for that counter engage, although the hook goes a little bit wide, so doesn't happen in the end. We're resetting to the looks of it back to standard laning at the moment. Blabber's trying to dominate the jungle here. He's walking up with Diamond. They're going behind this outer tower, which is almost gone. Golden Glue's already posturing, so Strumpus has backed off.
Same thing happening on the top side of the map, though. Maxi moving up here, trying to catch out Jukes, forcing him away so that FlyQuest are able to take this tower.
Oh, the dive goes in, and Strumpus did so much damage. He manages to pick up Blabber in the 2v1, and now he's chasing down Golden Glue. He's going to jump into the Rise ultimate, and he's going to get away because no CC left. But that is a kill to Strumpus in a situation he shouldn't have been able to get one.
Yes, Strumpest used the Nautilus ultimate very well there. He must have stolen it from him when they were pressuring him away from that tower and using it to get the double knockup. It does leave the ruptures behind it on its way to the target and can knock up entire segments of the enemy team. Used that to stun up Blabber under the tower, get a few more shots and the damage in to secure that kill. FlyQuest now grouping around the mid lane, but will be forced away as Cloud9 move their members in to respond.
I wonder where we're going to see the next play now. I mean, Maxi was up there in the top lane. He brought Wadid with him, and they're looking to make that 3-man dive onto Jukes, but couldn't quite make it happen. And so all they get is a little bit of turret damage up there in the top lane. Yeah. Thankfully, they had Strumpus there in the bot lane making that play. Otherwise, it would have been really rough for them.
Jukes did have the vision in the river down, was able to spot out the FlyQuest members and disengage from that in time to secure his life, not be at the risk from a tower dive, but still managing to hold on to the tower as well. You would have hoped that Engo would have been able to push that forwards with the help of Maxi, and we did, take that tower and get some more gold for themselves, opening the map up, but it is still standing there in the top lane. Only one tower this game has fallen so far for each team, and those are the bot lane outers.
See, Maxi's got, I suppose, an impressive CS lead over his counterpart in Blabber, but What he seems to have lost for it is every single laning. Every single laner on his team is down in CS because of the lack of pressure he's had, really. And Golden Glue taking a lot of damage there, but C9 pick up this mid lane tower. Again, Maxi was farming and couldn't get in a position to defend.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very well and good having a CS lead over your opponent. It, of course, on paper makes you stronger, but look at how much impact Blabber has had on the map so far. 75% of the kill participation for his team, whereas Maxi is sitting at 0, 0, and 0. Hasn't contributed any deaths, but certainly hasn't helped his team get any advantages either. A little bit of movement around the objectives did help them get the Rift Herald and that early Drake, but nothing that Cloud9 haven't been able to gain in other areas of the map, with Blabber making this more aggressive jungle ganking style, which is really what you were hoping to see from Maxi on this Lee Sin.
Yep, the fighters are going to have to start coming through, and as I said, that Diamond goes in, he gets the engage with the hook, but straight into a team that he doesn't want to fight, and the return ultimate from Nautilus and Wadid means that Diamond goes down once again when he makes the engage. Oh, I say once again, that was his first death.
Yeah, and another good ultimate used by Strompest, stealing the Nautilus again, and this is one of the problems that you have with Sylas. You can draft strong ultimate, strong initiation for your team, but if there's a Sylas sat in the opposite lane to you, he can just take them and use them against you. The Nautilus ultimate we've seen twice here to secure kills on different members of the Cloud9 lineup. You've got the Glacial Prison that can be stolen from the Sejuani, the Riven ultimate to increase that damage and provide an even larger execute. So many tools that the Sylas is able to steal, and at 2-0-0 he is in a good position to command these fights coming into the mid-game section.
Yeah, at the moment definitely looks like Strompest is the one to watch for FlyQuest. At the moment, I mean, Engo is there getting pressured 1v2 once again by Blabber and Jukes. They want to keep on going, but uses the equalizer to wave clear. And see, now they're going to start up this Baron. There's no vision at all for FlyQuest.
Yeah, no vision from either side, really, around this Baron pit. Cloud9 putting a little bit in now, and FlyQuest are smelling something fishy, but they will not be able to respond in time. Cloud9 sneaking it as soon as the Baron spawned and managing to walk away with a cheeky Baron to buff up the pushes at this stage of the game. Very risky play, could potentially have backfired, but sometimes that is what you need, and this will help Cloud9 start snowballing a little bit and pressuring some of these lanes that they've managed to exploit.
Yeah, they were wavering a little bit there with a couple of misplays, going in perhaps a little bit too aggressively, but now they've got this Baron. Even if they don't get anything from it, I assume they might get this top lane house tower. Even if they don't get anything else, then it at least delays the game for them and puts it to a point where perhaps they start to outscale.
Objective denial is always something that is overlooked perhaps in League of Legends. Stopping the enemy getting the objective, even if it's not something that, you particularly want, like we say, the Baron, it's always useful to have, but it's not going to have the biggest impact for Cloud9 at this stage of the game. But stopping FlyQuest getting that, something that they might be looking to use to accelerate the pace of the game, to push down some of these towers and force Cloud9 back into this gradually shrinking map. Stopping them from having that is a massive, massive benefit, and something Cloud9 have done very nicely here. Just buffing that cannon minion up a little bit of damage onto that mid lane tower. Nothing huge, but it all adds up.
It does mean that they get the vision control of the topside jungle here. As they get these waves pushed in, obviously it's going to happen naturally with the Baron buff, but they do get full vision control, so now it's scary for FlyQuest to go forwards, and you can see Engo loses half his health there to Golden Glue, but the return engage is there from Maxi. He gets the kick into, well, it looked like it was going into two members, but doesn't hit anyone in the end, and he goes down. Now Wadid is all by himself as Duke goes onto the back line, picks up Engo there, and oh, they're getting low, but there's the hook onto Strompest. Eri managed to pick up Jukes, and it's 2v4 at the moment. Are they going to keep going? C9 are very, very low, but Keith still has some health. He's got Blabber there in front of him, but I don't think they want to go for this tower. Now Strompest and Eri are looking scary.
Having to respect the two members and back away there. It was a 4 versus 2, but with Strompest and Eri, more than enough wave clear, more than enough damage to pick out these low members of Cloud9. A lovely fight initiation by FlyQuest, which very quickly went awry. all of the focus from Cloud9 turned onto Maxi immediately, taking him out before he was really able to do something. All of a sudden, Woodid was then left alone because he'd been taxiing on Maxi's back, and the entire fight fell apart from FlyQuest because, once again, one member pushed too far forwards, too aggressively, out of sync with the rest of her team, and Cloud9 collapsed onto that one member, exploiting the flank and not letting FlyQuest get into that fight at all.
But then the same thing happened from the other side. With Jukes on that back line. Looked like he was going to get out too, but the Death Dance meant he still died in the end. And Strumpus and Airy managed to hold on, at least to the inhibitor turret, because it didn't look like it was going to be that way at the beginning. We're getting the TP now from Engo, I believe, back out to the state. No, never mind, that is Airy. Engo's still here. Going to use him for the wave clear, trying to hold on to this mid-tier 2 turret. But the cannon minion is still there, poking away.
Yeah, all of that chip damage. We said a minute ago, it adds up, and look, all of a sudden, shot after shot, that tower is getting lower. FlyQuest not wanting to commit to this fight, and Cloud9 able to just stand there and walk this tower in. Baron buff has just expired, so they will lose that massive pushing power they had, but they've made some good gains from it. 2 towers up in the top lane and in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, now they're going to look for this 5-man on the bot lane tower. They don't have the Baron anymore, but they're feeling strong enough to perhaps make this play. Maybe go for a dive here if they can get the flank and the vision control that they want.
Lots of poking going back and forth here. FlyQuest desperately trying to clear this wave, but Cloud9 do have a good sieging composition. The Sejuani and the Nautilus able to engage at a minute's notice, and all it takes is one member to step slightly out of line, and the entirety of Cloud9 will collapse and decimate them before they have time to think. Backing away now as the next dragon will be spawning momentarily.
Yep, Jukes is already there in the mid lane, getting that wave pushing, and Fly tried to make the engage happen on the bot side of the map, but couldn't quite get onto these 4 members as they kept on running. And now it's a little bit more of a worry for them as this mid lane pushes in, although C9 opting to just go for this dragon.
Yeah, and stalling seems to be the name of the game at the minute for Cloud now. They have the push in mid lane, the slow push in top lane as well. A big minion wave is going to crash, and with another Earth Drake on their side, Mountain Drake on their side, sorry, it is all adding up to more damage on these objectives. So if they're wanting to stall it out, wanting to just play the slow-paced game, getting this chip damage in, definitely something that FlyQuest have to try and prevent. Need a big explosive fight that they can exploit something from.
Yeah, they're going to need to find that pick, that kick, that whatever it is, they're going to need to find it soon because this next Baron's going to come up, and they lost a lot of towers in the last one, and C9 weren't even that strong then. If they get the next one too, you're going to have to imagine it'll be game over for FlyQuest. Not much they can do to hold off a second Baron.
Yeah, the goal difference extending to over 6k now, and I think a lot of this has come down to the jungle matchup. We said in draft how FlyQuest were trying to ban away some of the really high priority junglers that we've seen dominate the meta at the minute. The Jarvan, the Rek'Sai, really strong early game aggressive junglers. They then picked themselves up the Lee Sin, and we're like, okay, they've limited Cloud9's pool to play something else, and they've got something that's going to allow them to attack these lanes early on. But so far, we've seen nothing from that. Maxi didn't open up that option.
Oh, Blabber comes in with the flank there, goes ultimate straight onto Maxi. Well, he's minus ultimate as well. Strumper super low, goes golden, he's all by himself now. And that is the strongest member of their team going down. Only Eri really to left carry these as Engo goes golden as well. Blowing the flames out though, Maxi picks up a kill, but then him and Strumpus both drop. Only Eri now with Wadid on his back. Can he hold this tower? He's got a little bit of wave clear, but I don't think there's much he can do as C9 turn to go onto the Baron.
Diamond nearly dropping their low as well, but with 4 members still standing, they will have enough help to start this Baron up. FlyQuest will know that they're about to do this, have the ward in the back of the pit, and it is, you know, the fairly obvious option that's going to happen, but nothing they can do. This Sivir and Ryze simply demolishing the Baron. Look at that health bar drop. No jungler, no problem. A second Baron of the game secured for Cloud9, and that is going to help them push in these final waves, really start to choke FlyQuest out of this game, and just keep them back in the base where they want them to be.
Yeah, and if they keep up this pressure, they're going to keep up the vision control in FlyQuest jungle, and they can keep making these flanks, and there's not a whole lot FlyQuest can do about it. It's looking really rough for them. They're going to have to try and peel these fights out as best they can, force C9 into Eri's feathers, and hope that that's enough.
Yeah, an 8k gold lead now, 2k more than when we mentioned it just a second ago, and Cloud9 starting to really ramp up. The Sivir has got the 3 items now, the very aggressive Realm Warp straight
Yeah,
in the
Realm
tower.
Warp though, they get the tower, they go straight onto Engo now, not giving Fly a chance to react to this one, really. Maxi is dropping super low as Engo's already down. Now Aries got somebody on him and he's dropped. Wadid's trying to cling on to Strombus, but now he's gone too, so Wadid running back and forth on the tower. Maybe actually he gets the kill with the golden glue. That's some fancy footwork there, but probably going to not make too much difference. Having said that, only 3 members of C9 left. They're all pretty low. Maxi's quite high health, but doesn't have anything. Well, he gets engaged on, and I don't think Waddy's going to make it there in time as Jukes goes on him. There's the flash from Blabber. Okay, these guys are into a little bit. Wait, Maxi's still alive. He's very healthy. Waddy's been healing him, and it looks like they're going to force C9 away now. Can Juice get back in on this? Does he want to take this fight? There's the CC. Wadid all by himself after Maxi drops. Can he pick up another kill? Doesn't really matter. But at least they saved the Nexus turrets.
And that is why you don't get greedy, people. Sometimes looking at the situation and deciding to cut your losses and back off is the best option. Cloud9 trying to go for more there, and we saw Golden Glue taken down by Wadid in under that bot lane tower for his hubris. We just saw Blabber dive under after Maxi, same problem there. But then FlyQuest did the exact same thing, diving forwards, trying to take out more members and losing another 2 there. That is a huge push that Cloud9 were able to achieve. The top lane tower did go down as well, and it is an open inhib and mid. The base broken, wide open from that push, with only Diamond and Jukes left alive with this Baron buff now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like C9 have had very, what do I want to say, tempered aggression throughout most of this game, and then they decide to take a Realm Warp under the tower, just risk it all, and it goes really well for them, and then they just, I don't know what they were thinking. They all ran everywhere trying to get as many kills as possible. It was like solo queue all over again. Want to get that pentakill stat for your end season.
The Realm Warp wasn't a problem there. The Realm Warp was really good play. The aggressive, confident play forced FlyQuest away and practically guaranteed that inhibitor to fall. It was just the follow-up after it, trying to take down every single member. Rather than playing it slowly, playing as a 5-man unit, they split up inside the base and got picked off one at a time. Will secure themselves the Infernal Drake though now, and we are looking to siege this bot lane tower. Still have the Baron buff helping out these minions. Not for too much longer, and not a massive minion wave here to support it, but it all adds up. The cannon just doing its job.
It was a much more passive Realm Walk that time. Take your team over to the minion wave with the Baron buff. Try and get some more damage on this tower, which they've got. Now it's getting very low. FlyQuest going to have to force this engage here. Strompus goes in, but he's already blown up, and the whole team of FlyQuest are looking terribly low as Juice comes in from the side. He's going onto them. Now it's up to Eri. He's still at the backline. He's got Wadid on him, but it's 2v5 now. Gets a lot of people snared there. He's gone golden, gets 1, but in between 3 now. And there's the minions. 4 people left for C9 as Wadid sits on the base, crying like a little cat, running away.
We said in the draft that FlyQuest had to force something early. They had to accelerate the pace of the game to take this away from Cloud9. They were not able to do that, and all we saw was the late game scaling come in. The Sivir, the Rise, even the Riven on the backline was an absolute terror, and Cloud9 Academy will take that game over FlyQuest Academy for your first start of the Summer Split Academy season for the LCS.
Fantastic. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will hopefully see you for the next cast.
Bye-bye.